Hey guys, so I'm back with a new video. I hope you all enjoyed the vlogs I made of our little weekend getaway to Niagara-on-the-Lake to celebrate our 3-year wedding anniversary. I had a great time, as I hope you saw, and I actually have uploaded the videos because the first time I uploaded them I didn't realize that when I had edited them, that in the video editing program I had saved them wrong. So shh, Riley. And basically what happened is they were cutting, a lot of the picture was getting cut off, so you guys really couldn't get like a full view of everything. So Alex and I thankfully had saved the original video files, and we went in and together we figured out how to re-edit them and save them in the proper format so it didn't get cut off. So if you haven't realized that already, if you guys want to check them out again, where nothing's cut off, they're so much better. And so, updates. Well, that following week after our trip, I was supposed to go to the Lupus clinic for my follow-up, where I would get the test results and find out if it's lupus and, all those things. And the day before, I got a call from them saying that they had to cancel my appointment because one of the head rheumatologists there, her husband passed away, and the family was going to be held the day of my appointment, and they were closing down the lupus clinic for the day. So they just said that they would call me with to reschedule the appointment when they figure out where they were going to put in the appointments from that day. So needless to say, I was a little disappointed because I had taken a half day at work specifically for that appointment, and then it was canceled, and it was too late for me to cancel the time off at work. So I just basically I had gotten something in the mail from the lupus clinic the week before, like right before we went away for the weekend, requesting another urine sample, a midstream urine sample. And I had assumed that they were hoping that I would get that done and in before seeing them the next time. So I took advantage of my half day and I went and put my urine sample in, and then I just took the rest of the day to relax. And it's interesting that they're requesting that because when I saw my regular rheumatologist the day that we were, like the Friday that we were heading out, she had told me that there was blood found in my urine again. It wasn't a significant amount for her to be too concerned, but she said that it could be the lupus nephritis again, or it could just be the fact that there's been a little damage done to my kidneys from the original lupus nephritis, which is gonna always make my kidneys leak a little bit of blood into my urine on an ongoing basis, or it could be a urine infection. So she sent me for a urine sample that day too, to check. So I'm assuming that the lupus clinic probably found the same thing. They found the blood in the 24-hour urine collection, and I guess we're wanting to double check on that. So I'm hoping that my kidneys aren't going wacky on me again. But I mean, like they said, it was a very small amount of blood, so hopefully it's nothing major. So I thankfully did get my rescheduled appointment, and it's going to be on the 19th of June. And it was the first time that it worked out perfect because I already had that day off because I have my speech therapy at 8:30 in the morning, and I have a bone density test at 2:45 in the afternoon. So I was able to, like, thankfully the Lupus Clinic actually had like an appointment that I could fit in between those two. So I'm going to be doing a lot of running around. It's going to be a long day because I have to go all the way downtown to the St. Mike's Hospital for speech therapy at 8:30 in the morning, and that's usually an hour, so it'll be done by 9:30. And then from there, I'm going to have to take the subway back up and around and take a streetcar to Toronto Western for the Lupus Clinic at 11 a.m. And Lupus Clinic is usually an hour and a half to 2 hours there at the least. So that should hopefully give me enough time to head back up to Sunnybrook Hospital, which is closer to my home, for my bone density test at 2:45. And then I go home in rush hour traffic by then. So I'm not looking forward to that day, but I am looking forward to it at the same time because I will finally get some answers. And there's going to be some issues that I'm going to be bringing up with the rheumatologist. I've been getting the Raynaud's a lot over the last few months, and before it mainly affected my fingers, but now it's mostly my toes, and they get really bad. They get so cold that they're numb and they're stinging, and it's painful. And I will, usually because it's hot out now, it's summer, I like to just wear my slippers with no socks. But sometimes after a couple of hours, the Raynaud's is kicking in because we do live in a basement, so it gets cooler. Although maybe it's just me because Alex is always hot and I'm always cold. Or really, I don't even know if my body regulates its temperature very well. I don't know if that's another thing with lupus, but I find that I can't take extreme temperatures. I can't take the extreme heat. It just makes my fatigue feel worse. It weighs me down. It makes me feel nauseous and lightheaded. And I find that I sweat so much more than I used to, really, really bad bouts of sweating, especially on the hot days, but sometimes not even when it's that hot. And then at the same time, if it's cold, I can't take the extreme cold either because then I get the Raynaud's really bad. But anyways, what's been happening with my toes is when the Raynaud's hits them, I'll go and put on one of my really thick pairs of socks or slipper socks, plus put my slippers on top of that. And most of the time that doesn't even work. I've had my toes completely frozen and numb for hours on end before it actually warms up. And so sometimes I've actually had to put 2 pairs of socks on plus my slippers, and even then it takes hours for them to warm up. So if I have a chance where I can just step away from what I'm doing and just sit on the couch, then I'll just throw the heating pad on my toes, and that helps warm them up faster. Otherwise, it has literally lasted hours. I had a bout last weekend. We went to visit Alex's dad, and we were here at home, and I think it was around 5 o'clock that the Raynaud's started kicking in. And I went and I put on my winter socks and my slippers. And I was sitting here and it wasn't working. And so I got ready to go. We had to go to Alex's dad's. And when we left, my toes were still numb. And when we got to his dad's, by the time we got to his dad's, they were getting worse. And then his dad's place is always on the cool side. And they just continued to get worse as I was there. And so from, I would say, about 5 p.m. until we came home at, I'm trying to think what time it was. We got home at 10 o'clock, or we left there at 10:30 actually. We left their house at 10:30 p.m. And it was only, I think it was about around 10 p.m. that feeling started coming back in my toes, and my toes were warming up because we were by the fireplace. And I still had my winter socks on, plus I brought a pair of slipper socks to wear on top of those while I was there. And so when you think about it, that's like from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's like 5 hours of having my toes completely frozen and numb. And anyways, the day before we headed out to Niagara-on-the-Lake, I happened to notice that my right big toe has a spot about the size of a dime or a quarter. Actually, maybe like a nickel or a quarter. And there is absolutely no feeling there. Now, I don't know why I didn't think to mention it to my doctor the next day, but I guess because I had just noticed it that night and I really didn't think much of it. I thought it was just going to go away. It's now been over 2 weeks and I still have no feeling in that spot. If I run my finger over that spot, I can't feel my finger touching it. There is no feeling whatsoever in that one part of my toe. And on top of that, I've noticed that if I'm sitting a while, like at the computer or on the bus, or even if I'm sitting on the floor with the kids, my foot will start to tingle, like pins and needles. Or if I'm sitting at the computer, what happens is I may not exactly get the pins and needles feeling, but I get like a feeling that my foot is going to sleep. It almost feels kind of heavy, and there's like a pressure from my knee down. So I'm going to be bringing that up to the Lupus Clinic, as well as my weight. I'm getting really down about my weight gain. I've really been trying to eat healthier. I mean, we have eaten out quite a bit in the last month, you know, with us going away, and then we've had like different things go on with like birthdays that we've had to go out to dinner and things like that. But I'm really going to try to avoid doing that now. But regardless, during the week, we pretty much cook our meals. I try not to have a lot of ground beef. I try to have like, you know, lean chicken breast and stuff, and lots of vegetables. And I've been taking a salad for work every day and nothing else, just a salad and water. And I've been drinking a lot more water too. And I mean, you would think, being the fact that I'm on the go all the time at work too, you know, it's not like I'm just sitting all day. I'm constantly moving, and yet in, I would say, the last 2 weeks, I've gained 3 more pounds. I don't know if it's the Entacort. I find it hard to believe it would be the Entacort. It is a steroid, and it can cause the same, you know, puffiness and stuff that prednisone does. However, I'm at the lowest dose. I'm at 3 milligrams a day, but I have been on it a long time. But I don't know, like, I find my face is really puffy. I don't like this down here, and I'm up to 163 pounds now, which I have never ever weighed that in my life. I mean, even when I went through my first bout of symptoms in 2002 and I put on all this, there was all this swelling in my body, I went from 120 to maybe about 135, 140 tops.